Hey guys, it's been a while since the last Ranger vs Environment episode, so I figured it's good time to make another one while we are waiting for a huge dub-v-dub update that's gonna hit in about 9 days. So you got my PvE build, but I never said anything about it. Why did I choose the traits like this? What is the purpose of it? That and even more will get covered in this video, so let's get it started. I've made this build just after they changed the ore in one of the patches. The change itself helped me to find events in ore more enjoyable, so I started thinking what is the best for doing it. On my PvE ranger I'm wearing mostly magic farm gear, which is great for farming mobs in ore, but as we know, when farming events it is all about tagging as many mobs as possible so we can maximize the amount of drops we can get. When farming events in high level areas, you'll find yourself mostly in huge groups of people where it might be hard to actually hit the mob before it gets killed. Sometimes you'll get a chance to hit the mob only once, so we need to maximize our damage output from the first hits. In this case, base damage is always over condition damage because damage is not capped. You always land your damage on the enemy. In case of conditions, you never know will you be the first one dealing the damage or the last one. All damage from your conditions might just not hit because conditions of other players got applied earlier than yours and your target is already dead. This should help you enough to understand what kind of stats you should get for a farming ranger. We need weapons that will hit our targets as quick as possible. We need something ranged and something for melee. I picked Greatsword as a melee weapon as it has frontal AoE, quick skill animations and swoop, which helps to get in melee range to the groups that are spawning in the distance from us. Sigil of Blood on it will help us to mitigate damage we receive from the mobs while being in melee range. For a ranged weapon, I took Shortbow because of its projectiles, velocity and the rate of fire. It is great for Sigil, which triggers Flame Blast AoE, which has 30% chance of critical. Switch to Shortbow if groups of mobs are spawning far away from each other and you can't get in melee range fast enough. When group spawns, start shooting into one of the mobs in the middle and try to make a circle around the mobs. This way your piercing arrows trait will hit as many mobs as possible and you'll make better use from it than just standing in place. The other way of using it is targeting the last mob in the line and then moving from side to side to attack all mobs the arrows goes through. For the purpose of this build we got few options in case of pets. We can either get support pets, Jungle Starter, Red Moa for additional damage output from boons, or we can get any other pet and try to make use of it. Any pet available, if managed properly, can be a good source of survivability or damage output, so I'll leave it to your own preference. We are going to pick 30-20-20 to maximize our damage output. On the marksmanship line first box, we take steady focus since we do not really need to dodge that much when running in big groups. Use dodge only if you are getting heavily damaged. That grants us 10% bonus damage every time our endurance is full. Second box goes for spotter for additional 70 precision. The description doesn't say that, but you're always in priority to get that bonus when in combat, so higher crit chance is always good. On the last trait we are going to take piercing arrows for their shortable AoE. Thanks to that we'll trigger our sigil fire every time it goes off cooldown. 20 points in skirmishing will give us 200 precision and additional 20% of crit damage. In case of traits, we want to get sharpened edges for a chance of additional damage and quick draw to get our shortbow skills recharged faster. In Wilderness survival trait line, we are going for Wilderness knowledge to get our AoE elite on lower cooldown and also martial mastery for a quick skills recharge on Greatsword. We need high mobility to move quickly from one group to another, so Signet of the Hunt gets it covered. For the other two skills there are two options. If we are going for events that spawn a lot of mobs, get flame and poison traps ready. You might think, what the? Aren't those conditions damage skills? If you look at the descriptions, both of them also got some base damage attack which hits per pulse. That means a trap itself will always do some damage to the targets inside of it. Also, each pulse hits 5 targets, and while it picks random targets inside of it, you get a chance of getting all mobs inside the trap tagged enough for your precious loot. Both of traps got a low cooldown, and if managed properly, they are a really good source of AoE. Try to not use them on the same group. Use Flame Trap on one of the groups, and when you move to the other, use Poison Trap while Flame Trap is getting off cooldown and getting ready for another group you are going to engage. Our elite skill is going to be Entangle. 2 minutes cooldown is not amazing, but if you use Entangle once groups spawn, you can be sure you'll get mobs it hits stacked enough. With the matter of time, you'll figure out which groups are better to use this elite and on which ones it is better to keep it off. For champions like Fire Elemental or Jungle Worm, I'd recommend using Greatsword as it is very hard to actually target those bosses before they go down. Auto-attacking melee range always makes the event tag, so you'll get your rewards. Playing ranged with a short bow is better option in case of legendary bosses when you need high single target damage output and need to stay out of their massive damage. For both of those weapons, switch traps for Quickening Zephyr and Sharpening Stone. While the first one is obvious choice, the second one is pretty much the only single target utility skill available on our skill bar. Either way, it is better than having a trap which cannot hit the targets that are away from your range or champion bosses that simply do not trigger traps at all. Switching Entangle for Rampage as one is also a better option for a single target damage output. Please leave any comments below and tell me what you think. Share your ranger knowledge, maybe you got something better than this. Feel free to tell me. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time.